wondered how to find out more information on the hardcore music scene? Well, we're going to explain how. This month on the Sektor, we'll take an inside look at Harder Beat magazine. We'll bring you inside the mind of the person who's behind it all, the staff, and how it forms from an idea to the final publication. Harder Beat, a Dallas-based magazine, started in May of '93 and gives its readers an in-depth report on the rock and metal bands in the Dallas music scene. It was Linda Holler, editor and creator of Harder Beat, who felt that other publications gave rock and metal low priority.
I've been writing for other music publications for about 3.5 years and got fired from the last one for changing the rock showcase at Dallas City Limits to the Z-Rock showcase. And I didn't want to quit doing what I was doing because I loved it.
Linda has a strong conviction that rock and metal fans are the most avid fans and decided that Dallas needed a publication that focused entirely on rock and metal in the local music scene.
I'm a rock, metal, and hardcore fan, and I always have felt that that was underrepresented in the other publications. All the other ones, to my knowledge, other than the Harder Beat, cover blues, country, rock, yes, jazz, you know, a little bit of everything, and I always felt that the rock and metal segment got kind of low priority, that if they had room, then they put in something on it. So, and I knew that there were really avid rock and metal fans out there, and that they would support something like this, which has proven to be true.
Writing for 5 other publications in the past 4 years, Linda has the experience needed to make Harder Beat a success.
For one thing, we're covering primarily local music. We are doing some national acts, reviews, live acts that come through town, and we kind of split up our covers about half and half. But the majority of the information inside relates to the local scene. And I think that's been very appreciated. I'm told every time I go out, somebody comes up and thanks me profusely and says they really appreciate what I'm doing and, you know, your magazine rules or something.
Linda has fulfilled her goal in heightening the public's interest in the hardcore music scene with the help of 7 writers and a photographer.
I offer something more for, I think, a lot of the local bands, because it gives them, you know, local press and lets people know who they are and what they're about and what they're doing. It gives local bands that are really out there busting it, it gives them good press, and it gives the fans and the people that want to go see them, it gives them schedules and knowing when CDs and tapes and things are coming out, and so it's good all around for everybody that's involved in the local.
Well, the first issue, I think I did all the writing in it, and then I put a little ad in that I was looking for writers, and people started contacting me and still do. I've added another new writer this month, in fact. You know, as I keep expanding the pages, then I need more people to help too.
Once a month, a staff meeting is held and demos from several different bands are reviewed and then narrowed down by either popular demand or suggestion. But don't get me wrong, Linda strongly suggests that you have to be good in order to be featured in the publication.
I always tell bands that ask me about getting written up that, number one, they have to be good. And they need to send a demo tape usually for a review on that, or call and let us know when they're playing a live show and invite us out to see it. And I'll try to get one of the writers to cover it, or I will. And but the main thing is to be good. It's amazing to me how many few bands have pictures of themselves or who promote themselves properly.
There are 3 columns which are featured in Harder Beat: Metal Major, Grindcore, and Local Buzz, which is, of course, Linda's baby.
We have a section called For Musicians Only that's been very popular, and it covers information on how to go about getting signed, contracts, how to get in touch with the media, how to promote yourself properly, just a different subject each time, and I've gotten real good response from the bands on that. We're starting a new segment this time called, I believe it's going to be called Women Who Rock, a Spotlight on Women Musicians, is what we've decided, unless we can come up with something catchier. But it's going to feature a band with a woman in it, either, or all women, or whatever. But right. It'll be divided between national and local acts again. So we're continuing to do new, innovative things that nobody else is doing.
And speaking of good bands, Every month, Harder Beat magazine teams up with Z-Rock to host a showcase for local musicians. Each month, Linda and her staff listens very carefully to a number of demos to decide on the best bands to appear in the showcase.
The showcase, the Rock Showcase at Dallas City Limits, has been going on for 3.5 years. Two and a half years. Yeah, 2.5 years, I think it is. And originally it was an organization that was sponsoring it, but I was doing all the work on it. I was organizing it and in charge of the whole thing. And then I switched it to the Z-Rock Showcase. I contacted Z-Rock and asked if they would like to get involved, and I felt that would be more beneficial to the bands, that they would get some airplay on the radio, more promotion, we'd get more people out, and that proved to be true. And then I'm not sure why this happened, but last December Z-Rock wasn't available to do one, and so there was about a 2-month lull when we didn't have one. And then they contacted me and said, you know, we want to get them started again, but we want to call it the Harder Beat Showcase presented by 99.1 Z-Rock. I said, whoa, okay, that sounds good. So it's been the Harder Beat Showcase since February. We've had really good success with it. Our record number of people has been 1,100 at one of them. And that was only because Pantera was playing at the Bronco Bowl, and they invited everyone to come to City Limits afterwards. You know, I can't take any credit for that.
Right.
But we have had 600 and 700 people other times. Usually it's around 400 to 500, which on a Wednesday night, you know, I don't know if you go to the clubs on Wednesday night, but, you know, unless there's a national act in, there's just not that many people out on Wednesday night.
Yeah, no,
but they come out for this, and everybody has a good time. They get in free with a ticket, and which is, of course, the main success.
When the stories are completed and turned in, Linda processes them on her home computer.
I prefer to have the ads that come into me camera ready.
Yeah.
Most of the time, probably about a third of them are camera ready. I put the other ones together. That takes a lot of time, and that's a challenge because I'm just learning, you know, how to do all of that. But usually I type in the copy. I'm trying to get some of my writers now to come over and type in the copy so I don't have to do that. But the last week, you know, I'm getting 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, and I keep thinking, well, I need to plan ahead and work on it earlier, but I don't always get the ads in time. I don't always get my copy in time, and there's just a lot of things that come in at the last minute. The clubs particularly, they want to wait until the last minute because they want to have their calendars as current as possible.
After proofreading and arranging the ads, it is finally taken to the printers. Each month, Harder Beat wears a different color, and in a matter of days is freely distributed to over 80 locations. Pick one up, you rock and metal fans.
No, I'm not anyone's mom.
Right.
What is the...
The back says, you see it?
I just love music.
I just love the music. The music, I think.
What brought that about?
Well, it's because obviously I'm older than the average rocker that's out there, and I always have people coming up and saying, your son's in the band, isn't he? You know, which one is he? And I go, no, you know, I like the music. And when kids say that, particularly go, oh, cool. It's so much work. As I said, I knew that going in, and yet I had no idea how much work it was. And by the end of the month, when I'm getting the next issue out, I'm always going, why am I doing this? And then when I take it out and I start passing it out to people, and everybody says, oh, right, the Harder Beat. You know, I've been waiting for this. And everyone's real enthusiastic about it. That's my payoff. That's what's exciting about it.
So now that you've seen all the hard work put into this local magazine, watch out for future issues of Harder Beat.